sunshine. Not right now. Yesterday, we walked, well, I walked. I lost the footage, so I was not able to post it. So I'm gonna tell you the story I told yesterday, which was when I first joined the Army. Hey, Steve. So, let's go in the car. So, I joined the Army in June of 1983, and I was, it was what they called, at that time, they had something called delayed entry program, where you sign up to join the military, but you don't go immediately after you sign to go. You go at a later date. So you sign up with the promise that you're going to, show up at whatever date you choose. So my day was in September. I don't know the exact date, but it was in September of 1983. And, well, it was what it was. What was funny was, when you promise that particular day that you're going to show up, they come and pick you up. They don't trust you. Unfortunately, they don't trust you to, well, they didn't trust me to show up and stick with your responsibilities. For whatever reason, my recruiter picked me up. So they took me to a processing center, which is somewhere on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. And from there, well, I thought it was just going to be me, which was really surprising, because when we got there was a bunch of people. I mean, a lot of people. And so, they kind of process you in right there, and then they put you all on a bus to go to your airport or your train station or however you're going to get to your first tour, which is tour of duty is where you start being active military, and you stay there for X amount of time, whatever, years, weeks, whatever. So funny thing is, I was going to Fort Dix, New Jersey, and I had never been out of California. I mean, once we got to California from Birmingham, I was just a baby. So I never knew anything about cold weather. So they take us to Fort Dix, New Jersey, and man, oh man, it was cold. It was cold from the time I got off the plane, and it stayed cold the rest of the time I was there. And then after what was funny was after we finished uh, in Fort Dix, I was being sent to Germany, where it's even more cold. So, you know, that's a straight up trip right there. But anyway, my my encounters with my drill sergeant were they're story worthy. So I guess when I become a grandmother or a great grandmother, I'll be telling these stories to my grandkids about telling about the kids about my trials and tribulations with the United States Army. Oh man. So once we get to New Jersey, it's basically we're gonna have to cross the street, so I'll wait till after we cross. Come on, turn green. Good, good, good. Oh boy. Okay, we made it over here. So, like I was saying, so they get us to Fort Dix. They get me to the airport, then they get me to Fort Dix. And of course, the military pays for all of that. So all you have to do is show up. And so, I hop on a plane. We get to New Jersey. I'm freezing cold. I'm undisciplined, which is something to say, being undisciplined. Let me check my phone real quick, guys. Come on. There we go. So yeah. The first time I met my drill sergeant, she accused me of running away from home. Then her next thing was that my mother kicked me out, and she just didn't like me for whatever reason. She didn't really know me, but anyway, so we met her. They immediately give you, they send everybody into this what do you say, like an auditorium or something like that. And basically we just sit there and we wait. They had us sorry about that. They had us all packed up into this auditorium, and we were in order by our last name. And so, of course, my last name is Flowers, so I was with the F. And basically, we just wait in this auditorium until they call you. And there's this long line. And the first thing that they gave you was dog tags. That was the very first thing we got, were dog tags, which is basically your name, your rank, and your social security number, I think. But at that time, it wasn't a big deal to have your social security number just on display. Nowadays, I don't know what they do, but it is interesting to know that, that's what was happening back then. So after we get our After we get our dog tags, the next thing we get are duffel bags. They give everybody a duffel bag. You get your duffel bag, you follow along in the line, because it's like an assembly line almost, where you go. You know, you get your helmet, you get your fatigues. Fatigues are camouflage. You get your dress clothes. You get your just everything. They had underwear, they had socks, they had all of that stuff you could get. And so after you get all this stuff, and naturally you just follow the line along. They gave us rucksacks, which are backpacks essentially. And then, okay, once you go through all of that, then they start getting into, your appearance. Like I got a haircut because at that time everybody was wearing jerry curls, and so I got a haircut. And basically, if you wanted your hair cut, they would cut it off. Now the men, they're a little bit different, or they were, because basically, men's hair is only supposed to be a certain amount of inches below the beginning of the neck, something like that. And so if you're a man and your hair was that long, you were getting a haircut down to Army stipulations. So that was that. But it was a little bit different for women, and I really needed a haircut, edge up that kitchen back there. I see a lot of girls on YouTube that are, doing these hair videos, and they really need to get that kitchen back there attended to. I'm talking about African American women now, because they got these naps going all down the back sides of their neck. That just doesn't look attractive at all. So I just have to throw that in there. There's one girl in particular, and I guess nobody told her she needs to clean up her kitchen. But I digress. Let's see. What else? Shoot, I don't know what else. Anyway, that car just made a turn, and I was just paying attention to see what he was going to do. But we're okay. Okay, let's see. So we got all our stuff. Then they they put you in order of companies. I was in Echo Company. And so in Echo Company, they have platoons. And platoons are broken up, separately. Well, the whole thing is you are in a platoon. You're a recruit, you're in a platoon. Your platoon is everybody in that group. And that group is part of a larger group, which is the company. So each platoon, there may be 10 platoons in one company. So I don't even remember, I think I was in Echo. No, I was in Echo Company, but I don't remember my platoon. Oh, wow. I have to look that up. Anyway, so, okay. 1.79 miles. This one looks like it's gonna be further away. I hope not. I really hope not. I keep checking my camera, guys, because I don't want it to fall off. I almost didn't walk today. But you guys know how I get when it's time to cross the street, so we're gonna have to be quiet. I think I might be able to make it cross. Let's see. Come on, let's go. I'm humming. I'm humming because, wow, this fence is new again. I'm humming because, you know, when I cross the street, how scared I get. So that's that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we were at. Okay, so Drill Sergeant Johnson was the platoon drill sergeant. So she was like the mother. If I had a man drill sergeant, he would be like the father. So look at these crazy people. So basically, everything we needed, we had to go to her. It's kind of like Sergeant Carter and Gomer Powell. So she would be my drill sergeant. Anyway, like I said, she didn't like me. So we all get together in another room, which is smaller than it was smaller than the auditorium, but it was still a large room. And so what we were supposed to be doing, basically, is, she was going to inventory all of the shit that they gave us to make sure everybody had what they were supposed to have. So after you go through all of this, she goes through to make sure you got all the shit you're supposed to have. And I forgot to mention, another thing that they gave us was a book of standing orders. And these are orders that you get from the military that are just regular, everyday orders. You got to follow these orders regardless. And we're going to stop right up here. And essentially, you have to know these standing orders. So this book, it was small enough that you could put it in your pocket and carry it around. And you guys know that fatigues have a lot of pockets. So, it's not like you didn't have a place to carry the standing orders. But especially, you had to memorize them, because your drill sergeant could ask you at any time, Flowers, what is standing order number 10? Like that. And if you didn't know, you have to do some push-ups, or one punishment in particular that she used to like to do was she would make you get on your knees and hold your weapon up over your head. And then she just make you stay like that until she felt like it was cool for you to stop. And so that was her favorite punishment. I did mention when we got the standing orders, our dog tags, and all that other stuff, we also got our weapons. which is an M16. So we had to learn how to tear it down and put it back together. We'll tear it down, clean it, and put it back together. That was the whole point of tearing it down, to clean it. And they wanted you to do it in a specific amount of time. So, needless to say, I didn't do well. I didn't do it as much as they wanted me to do it. And so I got in trouble a lot. Oh, I'm going up this hill, y'all. Well, I haven't stopped, so that's good. Let's see, what else? I remember getting in trouble once and being put on barracks restriction, and they put me in a barracks that was empty. So what I did, well, it was not occupied. There was nobody in there. So what I did was I slipped one of the top bunks off of the frame and made it seem like the bed had fallen down and hit me on my head. Needless to say, the drill sergeant did not believe me, and at least I got off barracks restriction. So, and it was only for like about 2 hours, maybe I had been in there, maybe. But the bad thing about that is, I gotta stop. The bad thing about that is that when I go on restriction like that, or I'm put on punishment like that, I'm actually missing out on training. I spent a lot of time in the brig. I spent time on restriction, policing, extra duty, KP, latrines. All of those were punishments. So I gave him a hard time, which is why I am so grateful that I'm able to live here now. But, that little part of me that wants to be rebellious is still here. And, I guess that's just the way I am. I don't know. All right, guys, we made it up the hill. That's a good thing. Wow. Not a lot of people here today. I don't know if it's some kind of maybe it's still too early. It is 7:28. Pardon me. I remember another time when I was still in basic training, and we had to go on a bivouac. And if you don't know what bivouac is, it's spending the night outside. Sorry guys, He's talking. All right, keep powdering. All right, anyway. So we had to do this bivouac, which was basically us sleeping outside in Fort Dix, New Jersey, in 30 below zero temperatures. Huh. I said, I told him my hands was hurting. I told him I felt numbness in my fingertips and all of that. So I did not have to do bivouac. And the next thing is swimming. I've always been afraid of water. And so when they took us all out to swim, you know, basically all they did was push you in the water, and I wasn't going for that. I wasn't interested in being pushed in the water near drowning and be traumatized for the rest of my life. So I came up with some kind of excuse so I didn't have to do that also. So because of that, to this day, I don't know how to swim, which is interesting enough because I'm still afraid of water. But Brittany knows how to swim. She learned how to swim when she went to visit Aunt Marie in El Paso. So she knows how to swim. She used to surprise me. She could smile underwater with her eyes open. I'm like, oh my God, who does that? This is not my kid. But that was my daughter. Yes, indeed. So I'm kind of hungry. I'm not usually hungry in the morning, but today I feel a little hungry. Oh, look, it's Officer James. You guys, we met Officer James in December. He was the one who told us about the coyotes. So it's good to see him. He's not looking over this way, and he's talking to somebody. Officer James. I used to know a ranger. His name was Ranger Mike. I still know him, but I haven't seen him in a very long time. Yeah, maybe one day I'll tell you guys about Ranger Mike. I smell cigarettes. My neighbor is out of the hospital. He had a surgery for cancer. And very interesting because I don't know much about cancer. I just thought that when you have cancer, you're gonna die. But I didn't know that there were, what do you call them? Procedures that they could do. Like he said, he had an operation and they got all the cancer. So I didn't even know that they could do that. Very interesting. I really hadn't paid attention to it, so that's interesting to know. But he's doing well. He's back home now. He stayed with his family for a little while after he had the surgery. So that's good. So yeah, I was really hungry. So I'm wondering, 1.46 miles, guys. we did 1.7 something. That's interesting. We didn't walk the same way though. But, you know, it is what it is. Bring it around to the front. Maybe I should not. No, maybe I won't. I'm just walking around the parking lot. Alright, guys, that's it for this video, and see you next